Ah yes, there is a really hot babe on top of this tower. The Tower of Hell, non-competitive version. A really tall tower, which consists of many stages, 169 of them. Not nice because it's 169. And the bad thing about this obby is that it has no checkpoints, similar to getting over to it, similar to that Jump King game made by that Swedish developer who wanted to make a game where you're a knatte and you jump on a really high tower to acquire the hot babe at the top. This is a 50k plus game. Well, this is the uncompetitive version, so it's a lot less players, but it's 50k plus players and everyone knows about this game. Also, it's a classical, and I don't see it having any money asking for Game Pass's ability. That's a thing I can respect about this big game I found. Oh, coffee's acting up. Now, enough boring introduction. I must climb this tower and get really angry like most the YouTubers in this game get angry for, to acquire the rage, which will get me a lot of enjoyment from my followers. To acquire, I don't know, a rage compilation or whatever. I noticed I don't get angry that often, so I'm gonna try to make myself as angry as possible. Oh, you really want to see me get angry then now, game, do you? Well then, I'll show you anger. I'll play this game and become as angry as you want me to, game. Because that's what you want me to get, game. That's what you want me to get, game. That's what you want me to get. You want me to be angry, don't you? Okay, I'll be as angry as I want. Now enough with the acting. It's time to unleash my true wrath. And by true wrath, I don't mean speeding it up like Lala Kingalwin did, and instead taking it nice and slowly. Forced Hell, circa 1987. Ah, the good old days. The days when the high school revolution came, where the nerds fought back against the bullies and the jocks. They teamed up with the edgy kids, and they invented a dozen of science cannons, which they all lined up outside the school on Muck-Up Day, the final day of the year. The chief of the nerds, known as Frankie, he was like,
"Oh, fight! We must launch the cannons! Oh, I have a nosebleed! Oh, somebody can please take me! Oh, I need my medicine!"
And then Mikey, who was like the leader of the science cannons, the person who built them, to be honest, he was like,
"Oh, we haven't filled them up with the science yet. We can't launch something unless you feed it with science, Frankie. Oi, Stevie, get over here. We must load this up to science."
And Stevie's like, "But I'm allergic to science. I'm a specialist in math. I can't help you."
"Oh, well, numbers are part of science."
Oh yeah, it does make sense, to be honest. And then one of the science cannons blew up because that short quiet kid accidentally added too many numbers into the panel. It was like, uh-oh, I blew it up.
"Oh, gee, we ran out of alternatives. We pull out the super weapon."
This man is hacking. You see, one of those short science nerds that specialize in computer technology. Anyhow.
"We need to use our backup weapon. Man, get over here."
And then all of a sudden, like, this really big nerd crashes through the door. He's like,
Did somebody call me?
Like, he's really big and really muscular.
Did somebody call me? I'm helper person. I can help you. Yeah, the bullies are pulling out some all-out attack on Larry Craig's thing, but we ran out of science cannons because we blew them all up.
He's like,
"Oh, don't worry. I'm a special when it comes to repairing science cannons." "No, you're a specialist in chemistry." "Well, isn't chemistry a part of repairing science cannons? Because science cannons use chemistry to cause a scientific reaction to, like..."
Anyhow.
"Don't you need chemistry to cause a scientific reaction? to the chemicals of the science cannon to create the propulsion of the cannonball. I thought you learned this in science, science specialist. But you're a science specialist too. We go to the same class together, the A+ times 10 science class for the nerdiest of nerds. You know, the people the teachers really look up to, and it's like the main reason why we get bullied. Those people are like paid us all this money so we could construct the science cannons because apparently Mikey over there wanted to change the world. Or I mean, it's alright. It's good. Changing the world is a good thing because we have had it with being bullied. I mean, we even formed an allegiance with the edgy kids so we could win this war easier. And they're the ones that bring in the AK-47 rifles. Okay, screw it. We're switching to Plan C. The final plan. If the science cans are broken, and that really buff nerd I forgot the name of was like forgotten because I took this whole thing to another level. And like I die multiple times, so that kind of shocks me. And I forget everything about the conversation. And we have to switch to Plan C. Is there any nerds in our nerd group that has slight mental disability or suffering from cerebral palsy of any kind? The stuff that forces you into a wheelchair. Is there anyone here on a wheelchair? Get yourself into the enemy base. Get yourself beaten up. And then people will beat up the people who beat you up because you're not supposed to do that to a kid in a wheelchair. And there, we'll have our thing done. But hang on, this is 1987. We haven't even unlocked the rights for that stuff yet. Well, I'm going to invent a thing that's nobody has ever thought of before. Behold, charity. But that thing has been there all the time. What do you mean, charity? Just wait and watch. My friend over here, he's in a wheelchair, has been beaten up by those jocks. Could you kill them for me? I know you really like kids with wheelchairs because they're really interesting and they have a lot of secret potential and they have the power to change the world because that's what makes special kids special. And the charity person's like,
I'm gonna give those anti-wheelchair goonies a wheelchair. I'm gonna break their legs. Then I'm gonna treat them respectfully because they're in a wheelchair. To be honest, when I was expecting Tower of Hell, I was more expecting like a really high tower which gradually became harder as you progressed. But I mean, the difficulty is mixed between these. I don't care, I'm quite the obbier person. And plus, whoops, I fell down. And that guy pushed me off, so I'm gonna fall down again. I made a perfect angry person impression previously. No, that was pure rage. I was really angry at that time. It was pure anger. I was really mad. It was like, oh, I fell. Oh no. But like, God, I forgot how to make that impression again.
Well, you know what they say. If it has a foot, it has a leg. If I keep doing this hobby, I will eventually get really angry and feel like nobody likes me because nobody likes an angry person. An angry person who makes nerd impressions and talks about cerebral palsy because those people are worse than Hitler. You know what they say? Adolf Hitler. Adolf being the person who has a dream, but like the dream is like kind of broken. They overreact a bit too much over their dream. Hitler, which is me, or I don't know, whoever made a slight joke about a person with a slight difficulty. To be honest, if you're a person playing on easy mode and there's a person playing on a harder difficulty than you should respect that person playing on a harder difficulty than you because they experience more hardships. I don't know. In easy mode, zombies don't break open doors, but in hard mode, they do. In easy mode, you look normal enough to be accepted into society. If you play on hard mode, you don't look normal, and you have trouble walking, and you've had a sad anime backstory, and you're suffering from PTSD, ADHD, the declaration of turtle peace, the memory forget syndrome, have trouble speaking syndrome, as well as the big ugly. But ugliness isn't true. Ugliness is just a scam. You don't have to be pretty on the outside to be accepted into reality.
No, 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 no. You have to be pretty on the inside to be accepted into reality. You must be really sweet and really kind to be accepted into reality. There are some things in life that look sweet on the outside, but on the inside they take all your money and leave you when you don't have any money. Like, I don't know, an Apple phone. But then there is people who are ugly on the outside, but pretty on the inside, which means they are not a menace to society. They are valued, misunderstood, well-respected people who deserve some happiness in their life. Then there are the people who are ugly on the inside and the outside, but I don't want to talk about them. And then there are the people who are really shy and anxious and stay in their room all day because they don't want to disturb anybody. You have to get that syndrome checked out. You have to talk to somebody, but not to the extent in which you become a nuisance to them. I'm not really a professional wise word sayer person, but there is one thing I know, and that is if a person says the slightest offensive joke, I will not beat them in an alleyway with a baseball bat. A verbal baseball bat. Like a baseball bat which says freak whenever you touch them. Like one of those squeaky toys. But instead of going, it goes, freak, nerd, ugly. Yeah, well, I forgot what I was talking about again. Darn it, this coffee is so good. That coffee was amazing. Milk on coffee gives you energy. Coffee on milk gives you diarrhea. Anyhow, I'm not much of a professional in wise words of wiseness. There is one thing I'm able to say, and that is that I might end up having to delete this video because nobody likes it for some reason. I talk many times about people having their careers destroyed because they made that one tiny offensive joke. Or I mean, it might not have to be a joke, it'd just be a racist saying. But as long as it's funny and minorities can laugh at them, not now, paid actor to be my friend. I'm trying to end this video with a wise words. Anyhow, basically, I'm a failure of YouTube. I work too hard on my videos. I work too hard for nothing. I'm an offensive chunk of garbage. And this is Igelknytt channel. Thank you for watching, guys. Oh, no, I don't say that. It's respectful, but it doesn't feel right.
Well, you know what they say. If it has a foot, it has a leg. Now, onwards to acquire that hot babe on top of the tower. Onwards! Da 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 da.
Oh my god, that was so close. I was at the edge of my seat there. Did you see that save? Oh, I love this climbing script so much. Oh, that saved me. If it wasn't for that climbing, did you see that? I didn't even touch that thing and it caught it.